Hi everyone, thanks for joining us. This channel was created to make sure that you are updated with all the information about real estate. So in order to make sure that you're going to keep getting updates regularly, don't forget to click on the like button and subscribe, as well as hit the notification button so you get a notification every single time we have a brand new video for you. Now today we're going to talk about a brand new topic, and that's title fraud. In the past year, we have seen a tremendous increase in number of fraudulent activities regarding the title. What does that mean? Your client or yourself might be traveling outside the country, and someone has access to your property. Either you give your keys to someone, or someone gains access by duplicating a key or getting access to your property. And while you're away, they actually sell your property to a new buyer. So when you get back, you realize that you no longer own your home. This is increasing in Canada, and it's a very legit and important concern that a lot of sellers have. Now, most of the times these type of activities happen on properties that do not have a mortgage, as well as you got to keep in mind that access was the first thing that I talked about earlier. So the seller or the person that's basically pretending to be you selling that property is able to gain access to inside of your home. Now, this could even be a tenant that you lease the property to, or maybe an Airbnb client that you lease your property to while you're away. So when someone steals your home by impersonating you, likely outcome in court will be that the court can order the buyer to turn the property back to the seller. But think about a scenario where the buyer actually sells the property while you're away. So now we have a bigger complication, because now you have new buyers that legitimately purchased the property from a buyer that purchased the property due to fraudulent activity from you. So it becomes a mess. So the best thing to do is to make sure that you are protecting yourself. Another thing that you got to keep in mind, that if you have title insurance will cover damages. So if there's a problem, if for any reason you can't get your property back, then title insurance will pay your damages. Or if you have to go to court, try to get the ownership back, title insurance will cover your legal fees. So it's important to make sure that you do have title insurance. Now, a lot of properties that have been sold recently in Canada, they generally have title insurance, but the problem we have is that if your title insurance either does not exist, or when you purchased the property was prior to 1998, which was the normal time frame where title insurance became common in Canada, then you have the option of purchasing a title insurance. At this stage, all you have to do is just pay the title insurance cost, and you will be able to acquire a title insurance for your property. Now, the cost of title insurance is about $1 per $1,000 value of the property. So if you have a property that's worth $1 million, you probably have to pay $1,000 in title insurance. So it's very important to make sure that you do have one. So purchasing a title insurance will entitle you to the coverage as long as you own that property. So it's important to make sure that you do have a title insurance for the house. Now, as I mentioned earlier, if you purchased your property after 1998, chances are that you are going to have title insurance. But if it was prior to 1998 where title insurance became common in Canada, then you got to contact the title insurance company and try to purchase title insurance to make sure that you are covered. And it only covers you for 200% of the value. So think about it. If you bought your home 10 years ago and the house was worth a couple $100,000, and now after 10 years your house is worth $2 million, title insurance is only going to cover up to $400,000, which is 200% of the value. So if something happens to your home, you're not covered for the difference. So it's important to update your title insurance, meaning that contact your title insurance company and make sure that you're updating your title insurance, paying the difference in coverage, and you're able to basically cover that. Okay. Now, another item that I wanted to talk about is generally, if you don't have a title insurance, you are responsible to pay the legal fees. So if someone sells your home and you want to take them to court, obviously try to get the title back from the new buyers, you're responsible to pay all the legal fees if title insurance does not exist. However, if you purchase a new title insurance, then you're all covered and you don't have to worry about anything. So the question that you might have is, how is this possible? How can someone sell my home and impersonate me? It's very simple. All they have to do is just do a title search and find your name. And then right after that, they create an ID, a driver license, a passport with their picture and your name on it. They go to a bank and they open a bank account. Then they sign all the documents, they go to the lawyer, they show their ID, and they sign on your behalf. And obviously, the deal is a firm deal and it closes. When it closes, the money, whether it's cash or it's coming from a mortgage, is going to be deposited to the bank account that they opened. And your lawyer is going to transfer the money to the account, and the next day they withdraw the money from the bank account and they're going to disappear. And now you got a buyer that owns your home, and when you come back, you have that big surprise and you have to deal with it. So it's important for you to make sure that no one has access to your property, and while you're away, you have someone checking on it. And the other thing is, be careful when you're leasing your property. Do your due diligence, make sure you know who you're leasing it to, look at the history of the person, and with all that, still, you might not have the proper protection, so title insurance is very important.